Hi, I'm Lovely, and today I'm going to review Episode 3 of the Magnus Protocol, Putting Down Roots. Before I get into the review, I want to say my thoughts on a couple things now that I've had a week or so to kind of just think about the couple episodes I've watched. So, one, I want to put a disclaimer. Last time I said, I don't think dates are going to be I don't think they're going to be as relevant as they were in TMA. And while I still might think that a little bit, we do actually have the dates of those statements. Now, I can't remember them right now, but we do actually have those dates. And I wanted to say there is a chance, and I mean this 100%, that all of these reviews, I will probably be wrong in some kind of way. Whether it's with theories or observations. And I wanted to put that out there now, just so you know. There is a chance in my free time that, I'll figure it out. For example, after I uploaded my review, I then just had a discussion with some friends about TMP, and it was like, we do have the dates. So yeah, if I'm wrong about something, I might put it together on my own time, / I probably will put it together on my own time. So my bad. But don't worry about it too much. I wanted to give that warning because I'm gonna be wrong for probably the entirety of the series, however many episodes. I think we're gonna have 25 episodes per season, 30 episodes per season. I am not sure. But yeah, I wanted to give that warning. Another thing is there's a lot of times where I will be talking about my thoughts or what I've said with friends, but I'm going to be saying it just as my thoughts because I don't want to say, my friend had this theory, etc., etc. I don't want to say that every time, because I think that'll get kind of old, at least for me. So assume when I'm talking about my thoughts, most of the time it is my thoughts. I want to say almost all of this is my thoughts. But when it comes to theories and stuff like that, I probably have had the discussion with friends. So, yeah, that's just another warning. But I think we're good now. Let's get into this episode. So this one, I was super excited for. Context for TMA, I did not have to wait week for week for an episode. I binged it. Sometimes I would do 2 to 3 episodes a night. And this is my first time for the series that I have to wait a week now. And I gotta say, I really like it. I was really excited for this episode, and I think it delivered. I had a really good time with it. I will say this, there isn't too much to say on the statement portion. There's a lot of times where TMA and episode would be like, just chill and relaxing for me. And that's what this episode was. We basically listened to someone get turned into a tree. And I thought it was good. I should say, though, while I did think it was good, I did find myself almost losing focus at the beginning, / not really understanding what was happening. I've noticed for the series so far, I've had to use the transcripts a lot more often. I almost never used the transcript during TMA, except for when the Bone Turner would talk. Do you guys remember him? I think it's the Bone Turner. Whoever had the book where was his name Jerry? I have no idea what his name was. Not Jerry. Gerald, maybe? I have Gerald on my head because there was a Gerald in this episode. But no, whoever could control bones and stuff, and even had like a garden in TMA, I would only use the transcript whenever they would talk because I'm going to be honest, they were kind of hard to understand. But no, I find myself using a transcript a lot more. And just to understand and focus on the episode. I'm not going to say that's a bad thing. I'm not going to blame the writing, because that could just be on me. But that's something I wanted to note. I'm curious on how others have been, because my friends have also been using the transcripts lately. But no. Despite being kind of hard to focus and not fully understanding it at the beginning, I liked it. This was really good. This was really chill. My dogs are kind of freaking out in the background. I'm hoping they don't start barking. Another thing I wanted to comment on is the specific dialogue. I've talked about this in the other episodes, and I think that is the same here. I won't go over every dialogue I hear, but these were a couple examples. So both of these were said by Alice, and both of these are probably a joke. But no, she said once she didn't get her way with Sam at the end, with what is it? With Sam calling like IT or something like that. I don't know. She said, "You've made a powerful enemy tonight." Another thing she said when she was talking with Gwen, that's her name, right? Alice said, "Fine. Yes, I'm working that night. I'm working every night. I was born down here, and I'll die down here." The main focus of that being, "I'll die down here." Now, I do believe this is all just jokes. Yes, when Alice is saying these, absolutely they're jokes, but I think they're relevant. A lot more relevant than, like, there's a lot more there than what appears, you know? But also, I think the writer could just be having fun. I don't know if Johnny is writing all of this. I know TMA was mostly written by him, if not all of it by him, for the most part. But I also think this kind of dialogue is possibly just the writer having fun, either with red herrings or, like, people know the fans will dissect every single thing, so let's just put a couple things in there just for fun. I think that could be bad under other circumstances, but at least for me, I think it's really funny if sometimes they don't mean anything, they're just having fun, which could ultimately be the case. Maybe it's not intentional, but that is my thoughts. And I think it's really funny. Maybe they mean nothing. Again, I cannot wait to see where we are in a few episodes, a few seasons from now. But yeah, those are most of my thoughts on this episode. There isn't much. There isn't much, but it's a nice, calm one, and I think I really liked it. Something I've discussed with some friends is the fears, and I think we've got a little bit more. We've seen somewhat of a pattern these last two episodes, but when they're talking about filing the statements and everything, emotions have been a lot more relevant. For example, man, do I have the examples on me right now? But no, like when they're filing it, there's like, they've mentioned guilt. What else have they mentioned? Let me look this up. They've mentioned guilt, regret, obsession. I think that's, a feeling, but, or an emotion. But like, those might be a lot more relevant in this series. Like, I don't think these are going to be strictly the fears, unless those are just like categories, which they kind of are. Sometimes, like, it's impossible for there not to be emotion in these statements. For example, you could say there's emotion for almost all of the statements in TMA, if not all. But we have seen them specifically make note of it in this series, and I think they're going to be more relevant. For example, how this episode ended is in the conversation with Alice, Sam, and Gwen. Alice, again, this is a joke from before, but it's like, "Fine, yes, I'm working that night, I'm working every night, I was born down here, and I'll die down here." Happy? And I believe Alice is like, "Are any of us happy?" Or not Alice, Gwen is like, "Are any of us happy?" And Sam's like, "Yikes." And the episode ends. Again, I think when... I think the moments before a scene changes, or the moments before an episode ends, I think everything said there, at least to me, is usually very, very important and sort of stressed. So, yeah, I don't know if it's really super important or if it'll go anywhere, but I think emotions might be a bit more relevant in this series, or at least it's interesting that they're being noted. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that is most of my thoughts on episode 3. Again, the statement is very chill. We've seen statements like this all the time, so in TMA, where it's like we're just kind of watching somebody's mind disintegrate over the statement. And I like it. I've seen it a few times, so it's not gonna like get me. Like, I'm not gonna go like, wow, this is wow. It's not anything special, but I don't think it's bad in any kind of way. In fact, I really like this statement. I've already listened to it twice. I've already listened to all of the episodes twice in this series. And I'm really liking it. But no, I'm lovely. Those are my thoughts on episode 3. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. I hope you enjoy my rambles and my thoughts on TMP so far. But yeah, goodbye.